What is good, NIO family? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one I'm going to be talking about the one and only NIO stock, which you should be looking out for the future. I'm also going to talk about why NIO did see a very big explosive move to the upside into open, followed by a big drop with the overall market. We saw SPY take a huge hit. We saw the whole market get a big slap today, and NIO actually did come down because of that. So I'm going to talk about why on earth that happened, what's going on with the market, what the future forecast is saying, what's going on with NIO's earnings report, because we do have a now specified date for earnings. I'm going to talk about that as well, and also what NIO put on their Twitter page, which is once again very bullish news. Before I break anything down about NIO, before I get into any details, I got to mention a couple of things real quick. Firstly, I'm not a financial planner. Don't take any of this as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. Not only benefits me, but benefits the entire NIO community as a whole. And the last things, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link down below and in the description. If you sign up for Webull, the link down below, and deposit any amount of money into the account, you're guaranteed 12 free stocks, each worth up to $2,000. And the best part is you could always sell these 12 free stocks for cash and use that cash to buy some NIO shares for free. It's a limited time offer. The offer ends in just 3 days. So please check it out before they run out. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So NIO is currently down about 0.8%, but we were actually up almost 7% into open. So we did get that explosive move I was talking about. But I also told you guys that when it comes to the end of the day, it is possible for us to either drop or maybe like hold up, depending on what Jerome Powell said. And I thought it was more likely we'd actually hold up throughout the day and get a decent, maybe like 3-4% in the green day. But we ended up actually dropping pretty hard because the whole market dumped. And Jerome Powell is notorious for trying to keep the market afloat, not necessarily saying things that cause us to crash. 90% of the time, that's what happens when he speaks. But today, he was very serious, and he actually said something that a lot of investors did not expect. So what did he say? Why did the market take this big hit? Well, look at this, guys. Look at SPY. I have SPY right over here. Wait, hold on. Let me actually look it up. So SPY is right here. All right. SPY pushed up into open. It almost touched 420, like I told you. But we got a huge dump down almost 3.4%, which is huge for SPY. Huge. This is tracking the S&P 500, guys. Massive, massive crash from SPY in the market for today. Now, does this mean that we're just going to crash forever? No, I don't see it that way. In fact, I don't think we're just going to drop every single day for the next few weeks, but I am pretty bearish for the next, I would say, 3 weeks, a little over 3 weeks, because we have the FOMC meeting coming and there's lots of uncertainty. So I think the whole market's going to dump as we approach it. But right after, I think the market's going to rip to the upside after that, because we are going to enter this oversold state. But until then, remember what I told you. The Fear and Greed Index, let me close this ad, it was neutral. We were greedy before, then we became neutral. The market was deciding on a direction. We finally decided on the direction, which is the fearful side, us dropping down. Why? Because Jerome Powell said some very important things. He said the Fed is going to do what they can to bring down inflation, even if they have to be aggressive. He didn't necessarily explicitly state aggressive, but he did say they'll do whatever means possible, which is kind of like an implication of that. He also stated that the central bank will use their tools forcefully, and they may have to raise rates and keep them high for a longer period of time than some people would have anticipated. So that's a lot more hawkish news that came from him. He was very serious about how inflation is a big issue, and to keep this economy afloat, we really have to deal with that, because people at the bottom are the ones who are hurt the most. So he was very serious, and he typically tries his best, like I said, to be or at least appear dovish. And he's notorious for that. But in this case, I mean, it's clear that he stated in the past that his moves, what he does, what he says, it's going to be based off data. And it's clear the data that he's seeing is not looking the best in his perspective. So even though, gas prices have come down in a lot of places, that's not all there is, because the overall inflation rate is still high. And we really need to see that come down. It's not sustainable. So Powell is starting to become more serious, much more serious about this. But he's not just serious, he's also showing his serious side. All right? He's showing his tough side. I'll put it that way. And that's why the market is, responding this way. So for NIO, let me tell you something. if the market just held up, NIO would have been up 5-6% today. It made a nice move after the Chinese deal. I did predict NIO would push above $21. We got that big move I was talking about. But the whole market dumps so hard. And when the market dumps, the whole market tends to follow it. I mean, look at what you're looking at, whether it's AMC, Amazon, if you look at SoFi, Tesla, essentially the whole market was red. We're even seeing crypto taking a hit. The whole market's just getting hit, and NIO is going to be dragged down because of this. It's not because they did anything wrong. There are also alternative factors because of what's happening in China that plays a role, but in my opinion, that was not the biggest factor. It was really the overall market. So what am I looking out for NIO? I see it coming down. The next one I'm going to look out for, it would be that 950 level. I want to see it try to hold this. If it doesn't hold that, I'm sorry, did I say 950? I meant 1950. I apologize for that, guys. $19.50. I want to see NIO hold that. If it doesn't hold that, then $19.01 is next. If we can't hold that, then 18.75 followed by 18.5 are next. So these are all the key zones. I really do think we're going to test 19.5 relatively soon, but I'm not going to give my specific prediction yet. I'm going to save that for Sunday. There are some good things coming out. We finally have a date, which is the estimate of when NIO's earnings is going to be, and this has been delayed and changed so many times. Unfortunately, we have a little bit more time for it to come out. Their second quarter report is going to come out on September 7th. So if you look at NIO's records, right, NIO did very well when it came to the month of June. But the question is, the offset, will that really offset us from what actually happened before? So I think that this is most likely going to be the date close to this. It should be September 7th from what I'm seeing. And because Yahoo Finance is finally reporting this and has made many headlines, it should be around here. So the thing about that is I'm not sure how it's really going to play out, but I want to talk about something else. Looking back when it comes to earnings, just real quick, I'm going to actually pull this up live while you guys are watching. NIO reported the data. And when the data came out, things were not as a lot of people would have expected because China had those big lockdowns and all these things were essentially happening. And when they had those big lockdowns, these huge lockdowns, the thing is China is starting to show signs of it happening again after all these big things were actually playing out. So there's actually a lot of heat waves in China right now, and they have to try to shut down a lot of places just so that they could preserve the electricity. So anyways, I was actually looking for this tweet. I actually found it. So this is what I wanted to pull up. So in this picture, you guys are going to notice something when it comes to earnings. Right here, let's zoom into this. You'll notice for the month of April, right here, they had a big drop in their deliveries relative to last year. In May, they got a push to the upside, but it's not that much. Still, May was not that good of a month. Now, they killed it in June, but the real question is this enough to really offset this? This is what I was essentially talking about for the next quarterly earnings report for Q2. I don't know. I truly don't know. We'll have to wait and see. My expectations are not super high because there were things that attacked and hurt NIO that were not necessarily in their control. The lockdowns, the virus spreading, the global chip shortage, it's not their fault. So we can't necessarily throw stones at them if it doesn't come out as some people would have expected. But other than that, I'm still bullish because their production is improving. Look at this growth overall from here and here the last 2 months relative to last year. That's massive growth. I'm still excited for their future. So NIO put on their Twitter page something very, very important. There's actually a very important article that came out from a very important French company. And what they do is they're talking about how NIO is one of China's best EVs out there, and they're going to raise their game in Europe. So it's a very, very big article out there. They're getting lots of exposure. I really believe as time goes on, as they expand, as they grow, as they develop their AI, they're still going to be a great company. The short term is still kind of bearish for just NIO and the whole market. I understand that. But the long term is still incredible. So give them the time they need, remain calm, cool, and collected, and do what you guys got to do. With that said and done, thank you all for listening. Have a great rest of the day. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you guys in the next one. NIO to the moon because the long-term future is bright, and peace out.